I have exactly one tip for you if you've never played this game and you're thinking about it. Don't judge it by the name. I think it's a bad name. Anytime I was texting my friend and trying to coordinate playtimes, sometimes I would say, you want to play No Rest tonight? Sometimes I would say, you want to play Wicked? Sometimes I would say NRFTW. Nothing ever seemed quite right. I don't like the name, but it's the only thing I don't like. So don't judge it by the name, just play the game. On to the early game notes. Here's some things I think will help you have a more fun time in this game. You can change difficulty at any time from the realm settings, as long as you're the owner of the realm. To my knowledge, there is no penalty or incentive for the different difficulty settings. It is purely based on your preference. So if the game feels easy, bump it up. If you're struggling, turn it down. You can choose whichever difficulty is going to give you the best experience and change it as you see fit. Next up, I'm sure this will be on every video like this on YouTube, but you can turn the display numbers on the UI for all the different stats. You can turn damage numbers on, you can turn your health and focus numbers on. I find that very helpful. I think it's a good idea. Unless you're the type of person who doesn't want to see numbers and just wants an immersive experience, then leave it all off by all means. Learn to love gathering as you progress through the game. Chopping trees, fishing, digging, mining ore, all of these things give you XP. They refill your focus bar to get you ready for the next fight, and you can get some very important and valuable items, especially from fishing and digging. Okay, next up. When you get to Sacrament, which is your main town, after you talk to your NPCs, accept your quests, and get everybody in their right places, in my opinion, the first thing you should do is talk to Danos, who is going to be in charge of your building projects, and you should choose to upgrade the lodging staircase. This doesn't require many resources, and it's important because it gives you access to the first 2 chests that you have in the game before you have enough money to buy a house and start filling it with chests of your own. You're going to gain access to a blue door that's just to the right of the guy who gives you bounties. There's going to be 1 chest downstairs, and if you run up the spiral staircase, there's another chest in the Rookery upstairs. What I recommend is, as you're exploring and collecting things, make a run back now and then to Sacrament, dump resources in one of those chests, and then dump gems and weapons and runes and anything you might want to keep for later in another chest. I also use these chests in the later game when I wanted to move from one house to another. Sometimes I would have chests full of things, and instead of moving it all, I would offload it into the Rookery and say, I'll figure this out later. For now, I just want to get my new house set up the way I want it. And they were useful for that as well. This is a good one. Don't stress over your first house purchase. As of right now, March of 26, you can sell a house for the same price that you bought it for. So if you save up 30 silver, which is the most expensive house, I think it's the Manor, you can buy that house, try it, sell it, go to the next most expensive house, try it, sell it, so on until you figure out which one you want. Or just start with the cheapest one to get a house going as fast as possible. Be free. Do what you want to do. I know I thought way too much and stressed out about my first house, but now you don't have to. You're welcome. Okay, got a couple quick tips on managing your storage. First thing, if you go up to the top right of the chest menu, you're going to have 2 different things you can do. You can make your chest shared or private, which is important if you're playing co-op. It's possible that you're playing with someone who's fun to play with, but is also a selfish idiot. And so you want to hide your stuff well away from them, so as they craft the 10th piece of armor for the day, they won't be using your resources to do so. Below that privacy tab, there is a display tab, which you can change what displays in front of the chest on the floor. That just kind of signifies what's inside of it and helps you stay organized. Okay, this tip is probably my strongest opinion of any of these in this video. You're constantly going to be coming back to town overloaded with gear, and it will make your life easier and your pockets fuller if you just adopt the idea that blues get sold. Don't even look at them. It's not worth it. Just sell them. It's almost always better to use common items with gems or plagued items, except maybe in the very early levels of the game. After that, blues are trash. Now the end game is a little different because you might want to look through them to see if there's a specific weapon or armor you want with the facet that you want, and then you can disenchant it. Aside from that, sell those blues, don't even look at them, get that money up and get you a crib.
Sell those blues, get that money up and buy you a crib and pimp it. Sell those blues cause you were broken, you got no place to live. You're wicked, so fix it.
Next up, I have saving enchant resources. So all of these types of items here, I would save those until you hit max level, which is 30. Of course, you can use these as you're leveling up if you want to, but what you'll do is probably trivialize a lot of the game. And then if this game hooks you like it did me, and you end up with a couple different characters at max level and you want to kind of finalize and optimize your builds, having a wealth of these resources is really nice at that point. I generally think that using common gear and slotting gems and being able to change those out is just a better option as you're leveling. Fully gemmed common items are going to be arguably as strong as plagued items, and also much more flexible because you can just pop those gems out, put them in something else if you want to change armor pieces. So I think that's the way to go. Alright, let's talk runes. There's a lot of runes, and it's really hard to try them all. And if you're someone like me and you like to test and you like to know that you have a sampling of everything and you're choosing the things you want, then you're going to want to try a bunch of them. So what I started doing is just buying up weapons from the vendors, specifically just to test runes on. For example, let's say I have a one-handed weapon of some type and I'm looking for a gap closer. I'm looking for something that's quick, that will get me from point A to point B, move me toward an enemy. And there's 4 different ones that sound like they might do that. But I kind of want to know the animation, I want to know the speed. Me personally, I'm not even worried about damage, it's like the feel of the rune. Is it doing what I want it to do when I press the button? I would just grab every available one-handed weapon that the blacksmith had, or even craft a few of them if I had plenty of resources. And I would put them all in my inventory, and then put all 4 of those runes on each of those weapons, 1 rune each. Try them all out, and then the runes that I hated and thought I would never use, I might just sell the weapon. But if I thought, yeah, I want to keep that, but I don't want to use it right now, maybe I could extract the rune, destroy the weapon, no big deal. That's what it was for, right? And then the ones that I was like, yep, this is the one now. This is the one I was looking for. Now I take it, put it on my weapon, and I slowly build out a rune set on my weapon of only the runes that I really want. So I'm not destroying runes unnecessarily. Maybe I'm the only one that has a hint of OCD or something, but that's what I had to do. I couldn't just slap runes on my weapons willy-nilly. I had to know what I was putting on there before I put it on there. Maybe that's just me though. 2 more notes and I'm done. Get organized as early as possible. You'll thank yourself later if you do. The game is more fun and your time with it will be more efficient if you have a good flow to your house, so that when you come in from a series of things like bounties or challenges or whatever it may be, you can offload things kind of on autopilot. Of course, it'll take time to learn what's important, what can be sold, what needs to be kept, how you want to keep it. But whether you're playing single player or co-op, when it's time to go back to town, sell some things, go to your house, get your refineries going for resources, clear out inventory space, all those things are just much smoother and more rewarding if you have a good flow. Probably do a tour of my houses in the next video and talk a little bit more about how I like to do storage, but everybody's going to be different on this. Everybody's going to have different ideas and aesthetic preferences and organization techniques and things like that. So you got to come up with something that's right for you, but it does make the game better if you're organized. Last one, it's an easy one. If you're into this game at all and you're trying to collect things, at least check the vendors every day. I've slowed down on the game because I've kind of run out of things to do, but I still enjoy jumping on and checking the vendors almost every day. They all reset their stores every day, and once you upgrade your town fully, I do think they're worth checking. Greenwich usually has some decent rings and also enchanting items. Whitaker has bows, but also housing supplies, which are even more important now since they've introduced the comfort system in the last patch. And I bought most of the things that are in my house from him instead of having to craft them, which is nice. Davos, the building project guy, I try to buy anything that comes up level 3 from him that I can and just save it in case I make a new character or want to build a new house or need to give it to a friend who plays co-op, something like that. And then the last one that I check every day is Finley, which is the NPC that you can save in the Nameless Pass. And with him, I'm mainly looking for armors that I want to steal enchants from, or maybe a gem or rune he has that I'm looking for. Other than that, a crucible run up to the Seneschal at least on level 5. And of course you can make multiple realms if you want to get crazy. So you can have multiple realms with upgraded vendors and check all of them every day. Which I did for a little while, I'm not going to lie. I got a little crazy with this game. I'm telling you, it got me. The co-op was so fun though. I'm going to save it. I'm just going to nerd out about it in the next video. The co-op is what pulled me into this game, and then I just got hooked. I want more to do. I mean, I guess I'm going to be really excited about the actual release, and I hope that it continues to grow. I hope it gets a lot of support, because I think it's a special game. I really do. I think it's a really cool game that has a mix of a lot of different genres that come together in the right way. It's got cool vibes. It's got that hangoutable thing to it that I just kind of like booting the game up and being in the world. The art style's cool. The music's cool. I think it's special. I really do. I think it's a very, very cool game. Quick shout outs to friends. Cody, thanks for putting me on this game. Thanks for co-oping it with me. I had a freaking blast. And I'm glad it kind of catapulted us into the let's do a co-op game now and then forever again. I've been missing that, and it's nice. And Nate picked it up recently. Looking forward to playing with you if we get a chance. Having the potential opportunity to play a game with friends at this age in life makes them seem genuinely worthwhile. So I'm thankful for you guys, for real, and I love you. Peace.